Hi Crafty friend, it's me, Justine Dvorak. Welcome back and welcome if you are new. Today I am making a whole bunch of cards with the sealed 3D Botanical collection, and this one did not disappoint. There are some really fun new products that came out here in June, and somehow it's already the end of June, but this is my little video to show you what I've made with the collection. Let's just start out this cute little tag. I made this just playing around with some lunar paste and my pointer finger. I just kind of used different colors and smushed some color on there. But with this collection, I'm also going to be pulling out some of those fabulous butterflies that I got a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to use the Twilight and the Sunset ones. So on this first card today, you see that I have the embossing folder on the silver mirror cardstock there, but then there's also these coordinating dies that die cut it out, and I think it looks so good with any of the mirror cardstock to use embossing folders because it really almost looks like galvanized metal, which I think is so pretty. Now on this second card, I'm using some paper from the Bayfair collection, and I'm using the little arch die with that embossing folder inside there. And I loved using this paper because it had some really unique colors that I don't typically use, like this kind of olivey yellow. Mustard maybe is a better color for it. And a lot of these cards kind of have the vintage or kind of like forest kind of color palette, and I thought that that was really fun to kind of stretch my mind with a little bit because those aren't typically the colors that I'm pulling for when I'm crafting, but I still added my own little flair by adding sparkles, especially that sparkle border. Now how I made that sparkle border was I used the Bayfair rectangles that are part of the ones that have like the postage stamp dies. I will link those in the description of this video too, but it was in an effort to save some of that sparkly paper, and I wanted to use it as a layering rectangle, but then I ended up using it as a frame because it fits so nicely. So I really like the way that that turned out on the edge. And I have been kind of using my stash or shopping my own stash and pulling out some embellishments that I have from Pink and Maine. These are the gold enamel dots. And sorry about the train, goodness. The gold looks really good with that mustard paper color. So I'm pleased with how that coordinated, even though they're from different companies. So yay for using up my stash. And there's also some sparkles on the butterfly. So I figured enamel dots catch the light, and that was fine instead of using rhinestones. So now here on this card, I used some more Bayfair paper that I'll just quick attach to my card. And when I was making the frame for the last card I just worked on, I wanted that one to have this stitched border. Hang on, I'm gonna wait till this train goes by. Goodness, I am all for safety for trains, but I think some conductors are a little more trigger happy with that horn. Anyway, like I was saying, when I was die cutting out the frame for the Let's Celebrate card, I had this skinny little scrap of pattern paper there on the left, and I thought, I think I can make that work on a card. So I'm going to put it on this card. And it is so skinny and thin that I did not want it to flop around with glue behind it. So here I took a second and thought, I'm just going to put glue onto the card. And the precision tip on the Barely Art liquid glue really helped that happen. So I'm just going to carefully glue all the way around on the edge here, and then take my pattern paper and put it on to the glue. And just lining it up on the bottom and giving it a little bit of a wiggle and a gentle press. And there was no glue smudges. There was no glue all over either, and it fit just perfectly. And it was not wasted, which I love. Look at that. Okay. So then after that, I'm going to stick on this gold mirror piece that I did my 3D embossing with, and then I have the die cut there. And you just have to be kind of careful with die cutting with 3D embossing. If you notice it gets kind of flat after you die cut it out, you can always run it through the die cutting machine again. Or you could be brave and die cut it first and then use your 3D embossing folder. I think with this one I ended up running it through the embossing folder twice. So I did it embossing, die cut, and then I embossed again just to give all the dimension there. So I didn't want anything to be smushed. And then I added a sentiment from all of us, which I sometimes need some of these cards, especially when we do thank you cards from a lot of people at school. We'll have volunteers or parent volunteers help on a field trip, and everybody signs the card, which I sometimes put in extra panels because there's a lot of people signing it and it's just a dinky little A2 size card, but sometimes I need that sentiment, so I like that sentiment quite a bit. Now this blue butterfly, I wasn't sure where it came from. I thought I might put it on this card. It doesn't end up there, but that's okay. I have some paper from the Bay Fair collection still layered here. That pink paper in the back is from there, and then this scrap is from the 6x6 paper pad. I'll just sneak it on there like so. This was a scrap from the card that says let's celebrate. And then I'm going to stick this little piece, which you could turn into a tag, onto the front of the card. Now this one I die cut out and embossed with the Express It paper and did some Copic coloring on it. It's very gentle Copic coloring when I color anything that's been embossed with the 3D embossing folders, because it's raised up, so there's not a ton of blending, and if there is, it's a very, very light and delicate brush strokes with the Copic markers. So just a side note for you. Now if you're wondering how in the world did you make the wax seals, Justine, well, I have a couple videos on my channel. I think I have a whole playlist too about wax seals, so I have lots of tips and tricks on my channel for wax seals, and I show how to put the gold and the silver on the wax seal impression as well. And you can see here I have some little embellishments that I DIY'd with some wax drops. Now on this card, I keep them all, but spoiler, on my next card I lose one, so I end up having to go back to my collection of embellishments and go crazy. See, the butterfly just didn't make it on this card. I think the one yellow butterfly is beautiful all by itself. Now this card, you can kind of see here on the back that blue. I took some of Simon Hurley's Lunar Paste and just smushed around the edges on that blue textured cardstock. I love the way it looks. It's just a little bit of shine. And then I have this die cut arch with some Bay Fair paper. And then I have this crazy piece. Now this one I was really playing around with. My husband and I were watching Jurassic Park in my craft room, and I was just slightly distracted, so I just kind of let my too much brain go crazy on this piece with some Lunar Paste, and then I took a black Sharpie and outlined the butterflies. But I do like the way it looks. It looks kind of antique-y, and I don't know, it's not a lot of texture, you know? So I have these 3 little wax pieces, and then one gets launched into the abyss of my colorful craft room rug, which I probably will find at the vacuum later. But I don't know, I feel like I've been keeping my craft room pretty clean, but my rug is very colorful, and I still don't even know where that wax seal little piece went. But not to worry, I found some other embellishments that I'm going to add onto here that are blue that kind of tie in with the background. So I'll just move that one over like so, and then add some more fun embellishments. These are leftovers from last summer's card kit, so it's always fun to use those up. If you've enjoyed today's video, please let me know which card has been your favorite in the comments. I will give you a pretty picture look at the end of all of them. So let me know which one is your favorite. I think mine has to be the happy birthday with the mushroom that's kind of in the middle on the left there. But let me know your favorite, and subscribe for more videos from me, and check out that wax playlist if you need some help with wax seals. If you have any questions, I would love to help you out in the comments. If you are a wax seal and embossing folder fan, stay tuned for July 1st where I show you the wax seal and the 3D embossing folder from July's clubs. They are beautiful. I love, love, love them. I've made tons of cards, so I'm excited to show you. We'll see you July 1st. Bye-bye.